All right, everyone, we are 5 minutes into the actual schedule. We will give it one more minute. I see we have 20 plus participants already in the session. If nobody joins after a minute, we will start.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I think we should start now because we only have 1 hour and we already 7 minutes into the session. I will just take less than a minute to give a quick intro of myself. My name is Murali Krishnan, and I work as the cloud delivery head, cloud migration factory head for a reputed organization in the IT industry. But I am not here as a techie or someone who heads cloud migration. I have also been working with students as well as some of the working professionals, helping them to crack job interviews in the past. And I am here for the same purpose in this call too, right? And it's not something that I do for money. It's something that I do because I'm passionate towards this. And I hope your 1 hour of Saturday evening turns out to be fruitful for everyone who joins this call and whoever views the recording later. Okay, I think we should start. I will share my screen. I have not done this on Zoom. Let me share my screen only, or window is there. Guys, let me know if you're able to see the screen. If you're able to see the presentation, just give me a thumbs
Yes.
up in the chat. I'll wait for one or two to give me a thumbs up on the chat or see confirmation. Yeah, thank you, Vijay. Right. So what are we going to talk about now? We are going to talk about something that's going to make or break your career start itself, right? It's how you crack the HR interview. So I do not know the entire set of participants in this session. It could be somebody from the final year, it could be somebody who finished the final year, or it could be somebody who is still in the earlier years. But when you say that you're going to be appearing for an HR interview, it just means that you have cleared the technical round, right? So you are on the very verge of being selected, and you need to do things right to crack the HR interview. That's exactly what we are going to see in this session. And I have tried to create the content in such a way that it's not going to be a theoretical or a boring lecture. I want it to be fun. I would want you to uh, respond to whatever I request you for, probably in the chat message for me to see, and that will be really helpful. Oh, you're not seeing it as full screen. Let me stop the sharing and start it again.
Yeah, this is
Can you guys see the things in the full screen mode now? The presentation. Thanks, Priyadashini. Right.
Uh,
Okay, so we are going to be very crisp for this session. We only have 1 hour. As you can see on the screen, I have put only four topics or four subtopics that we are going to cover here, right? The first one is what HR is really thinking, what HR wants to know. It's not about the number of certifications, not about number of programming languages that you are expertised with, right? It's about whether you would fit into the organization, whether you will grow in their team, and whether the team or the organization will grow along with you through your efforts. Right. So that's exactly what they will be looking for. It's not a technical round, it's going to be a HR round, right? I'll probably tell a small incident. We all know, hopefully, Abdul Kalam sir. When he went for his first interview, it was for the Indian Air Force. There were 8 slots, and he was not selected. He came ninth, and he did not get through the Indian Air Force interview, right? But the way he presented himself, the people who came to take his interview, they were really impressed, and they selected him as senior scientific assistants for DRDO, right? And when they asked him about how he felt, he said, "I will continue learning and I will try harder." Right? He did that, and we all know the rest. Right? So that's exactly how it will be in HR round. They will not look at your technical capability, they will not look at your programming expertise, they will look at your attitude and the way that you think and the way you present yourself. Right? So that's the first thing that we'll be seeing, what HR actually wants to know in detail. Then we'll be looking at some of the most common HR questions. I know when I say most common HR questions, I can even come up with some 50 or 100. But for this session, I have taken only five, the top five that I think you will face in every HR interview. Reason being, the time is short. We do not have a long day ahead of us. We have only another 45 to 50 minutes. And it's your precious Saturday evening. I don't want to take much of that as well. So we'll cover the most common HR questions. Obviously, if you want to reach out to me for further clarifications on these questions or to know about any further questions, you can always reach out to me through Woolhot Foundation, or I will share my details towards the end of the session. You can reach out to me directly as well. Then we will see an important thing in terms of how you uh, answer the questions, right? It's not like a direct answer that you need to give, but you will have to present it as a story. That's what I mentioned as a star technique. Some of you might have heard about it already, some of you might be practicing it already, but we will cover what it is and why it is impactful in this session. And yeah, there are questions and there are tricky questions. Probably you'll be asked what your weaknesses are. You should not get stunned when you come up with a tricky question during an interview. So we will see some tips in terms of how to answer those questions as well. Okay, so that's all we'll be covering in this session. And before we start, I want you to type 3 words, just three, not more than that, in terms of how you will describe yourself in the chat window. I will give you 1 minute. Just type whatever comes to your mind first in terms of how will you describe yourself. Even something like a chai lover will do. Just type something which comes to your mind. I will wait at least for 5 responses before I continue. So you will have to type something. Okay? Okay? Punctuality is good. That's just one. I wanted three, but that's still fine. A good start. Artist, talented, religions, great. A couple of people have said my name. Yeah, that's one. I am Sham Sundar. That's 3 words. Okay, that's great. Anyone else? Any thoughts? See, while I'm waiting for your responses, I'll tell you this is not same as tell me about yourself question. Okay, tell me about yourself is something where you will have to come up with a structured response for somewhere between 45 to 60 seconds. But describe yourself in 3 words is just 3 words, and it has to be spontaneous. It has to be at least it should appear spontaneous, but you would have thought about it prior to getting into the interview session. So that's what this describe yourself in 3 words is all about. I'm happy that I'm seeing some responses. I would urge other people also to type, maybe not for this question, but for the future questions. Yeah, my name Ilakya, dress code, everything is correct. Nothing is an incorrect answer. Everything is a correct answer only. And the only point that I wanted to drive here is people are not expected to think the same thing about themselves. They can come up with n different types of responses. And I'm just going to share some words on the screen. These are some of the words which are impactful. So probably you'll have to see, understand. I see somebody has raised their hand. Okay, probably by mistake. Just see and make yourself comfortable with some of these words, because these are all impactful words, and you can use these whenever you are asked about to describe yourself in 2 words, 3 words, 1 word, whatever it is. Okay, and just try to relate something or set of words which are apt for you. Just because they are good words doesn't mean that you can pick any three and start typing that as how you would describe yourself, right? So that was just an icebreaker, guys. You will see many more items that will be coming up where you will have to definitely respond to me in terms of uh, the questions that I ask. You cannot remain silent throughout the session. Okay, so let's get on to the actual session. Okay, so the first one is the attitude and how you adapt yourself to the environment, right? So let's um, let's not get into the technicalities as well at all, as I mentioned earlier, right? So let's just see what are all the attributes that somebody from the HR will be looking at when they reach out to you or when they interview you, right? So uh, let's let's say you are given a challenge, a question that is task based, or a question that is a puzzle. Okay, and I'm sharing the correct screen, right? Okay. And in that question, there will not be anything direct that will be about your attitude or how you will adapt. Okay. But they will be expecting you to display your skill or display your soft skill in terms of your attitude or adaptability. Okay, so again I will I'm sure most of us would be happy watching movies, and probably some of you might be watching Bollywood movies as well. Ayushman is one of the leading actors these days, and he is not someone who comes with great film background, with his forefathers, fathers, everybody being actors and actresses. And he is someone who was rejected multiple times. Okay, he did not get a success initially. He just tried. His attitude was great. He started looking for scripts which are different, which will not be done by a great superstar of Bollywood, typical superstar of Bollywood. There are instances where he was being questioned for the subjects that he chose, but eventually he stood out. His attitude helped. He was able to adapt to the challenges, and he is one of the leading actors in Bollywood. That's exactly how you should show adaptability, and that's exactly how you should be displaying attitude as well. So the next one, I'll just go back to the slide and go to the next one. Right. So this is also very important because they want to know whether you fit into the team. Okay. So it could be anything, right? Whether you are a team player, whether you are a team leader, whether you are someone who would just do things that are said to you, whatever it is, they want to know how you fit, whether you are okay in terms of the team spirit that is being displayed. So that's the second thing that is being looked at. I'm not going to say story for everything. So let me go to the third one. The third one obviously is communication. That's a very, very important attribute that will be looked at. Okay, when I say communication, it's not just about how you respond to a 10 mark question or 20 mark question. It's about how you present yourself and how you speak, right? And again, this is something which is very, very important, and I can relate this with something which you probably would be knowing already as well, right? So Shah Rukh Khan, again another movie personality. He is someone who was asked in an interview about something in terms of personality. When he was asked about looks and height, he said, "More than the looks and height, I will be pride in terms of how I speak. The way I speak is I speak with a lot of energy, and that's how I resonate with people. That is very important. The way you communicate with the HR, the way you present yourself, the soft skills that you show, the way your body language appears, that's all very, very important. So you need to focus on that as well when you go to the HR interview. Let me go back to the slide. I need to go back and forth because I need to see the chat window as well, and I need to go back to the slide deck as well. So please bear with me. uh, the next one is people, or the HR people would want to know whether you are someone who would not be stuck with whatever you know. They want to know whether you are okay to learn new things, adapt, and get yourself upskilled to whatever they suggest you need to learn. Right. So that is something you should always look out for. You should not say that I don't know this and I will not be interested in knowing this. So you should display an attitude where you are eager to learn, and that is showing up in the responses that you give to them. And the final one is motivation, right? So this is again something which is very much essential. You need to be self motivated as well, and I think youngsters these days are definitely self motivated. And again, I will give you an example. You all would probably be knowing about the oyo rooms that are seen everywhere these days, and I hear that they are also going to be going public soon. So this guy, the way he started is he went across the length and breadth of India, and it was with a shoestring budget, very, very low budget. And he stayed in rooms which were very less expensive, let me put it that way. And that was the inspiration for him to start the Oyo rooms. The concept came from whatever he did, the way he got himself motivated. The self motivation has brought him to where he is right now. So that's something which is very, very important in terms of motivation, right? So those are the five key things that we will be expecting when we get into a HR interview. Okay. I hope it's not a boring session so far. Just give me a thumbs up if you are okay with whatever you are seeing on the screen. Then we will go with the next slide.
Right.
Thanks, guys. That's really, really appreciated. Okay, we will go to the next one. Okay. Again, as I said, I'm not coming up with 50 plus questions for this particular slide. We'll just start with five. Uh, the boring, tell me about yourself question. Okay, so you are, I assume you are all freshers. I do not know if we have people who are experienced and are joining this session. But still, I assume that you're all freshers. When HR sits in a room with you for the interview, the first question most of you will be asked is, tell me about yourself. So again, I will pause here. Let me see how you will start your response for this particular question. Tell me about yourself. You don't have to type for the entire. You don't have to type the entire answer. Just type in the chat window in terms of how you will start. Absolutely no issues. You do not have to worry whether it's right or wrong. We are not going to dissect your response. I just want to see how you are planning to start a question and a response for this particular question. Just say how you will start. Excellent. I'll start with greeting. My name is KL Brindashri. Wishing him and about ourselves. Okay. Encourage their self. Okay. Anybody? Anything else? Say hello. Yeah, that's how you'll start. Yes. I'll wait for one more response. Thanks for the opportunity. Start with cool. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Okay. See, when HR puts across this question, tell me about yourself. They do not want to know about your autobiography. Okay, so you need to again go back and remember what I said in the previous slide. They are looking for some of the attributes in you, and they want to know the fitment. So you need to be crisp. You need to prepare for this question beforehand. You need to cover who you are. I see some people mentioning that my name is so and so, I am so and so. Great. You need to cover what you are good at. Okay, that is something which you need to cover, probably 10 seconds, 15 seconds, that's it. What have you done, either as part of your project or any paper presentations, any seminars, anything that you did outside as well. That also has to be crisp, another 15-20 seconds. What do you want to do next, or what value you will bring to the organization if you get there? That's it. Tell me about yourself, who you are, what you have done, what you plan to do next. Done. 30 seconds, 45 seconds, over. That's exactly what you need to do. Right? Maybe you can say, I'm a final year student. I have strong interest in, you can say cricket also, that's fine. Hockey, anything is fine. Or Java, that's also fine. I have worked on, you can say if you have done any internship, if you have done any paper presentation. So I have worked on ABC, and I have done this presentation in XYZ university, and I'm excited to grow if I get an opportunity in your workplace. That's it. That's more than enough to respond as part of this question. I'll go to the next one. Ha! Strengths and weaknesses. Name Anisha. First year, self motivated. Learn more lessons in bad situations. Good. Good. As I said, no answer is bad answer. Everything is good. Everything is correct answer. I just want you to think beforehand when you get into the interview in terms of how you structure your response and put it across to the HR. Right? Next one is strengths and weaknesses. We will see about this. Let me see what your strengths are. Just type me one or two strengths of yours. Guys, strengths. Bold, lovable, knowledgeable. Okay. Strength, positive thinking, self motivated. Encourage others, self motivated. Okay. Resilient, adaptable. I can handle any challenges. Great, great. I can see you guys are all comfortable in saying what your strengths are. Let me now see my mom. Very good. Okay. Adaptable with people. Let's pause. Let me now hear from you what your weaknesses are. Okay. Somebody left when I asked about weakness. Trust all the people easy. Nervous. Team management. Believing others. Shy. Overthinking very easily. I believe people. Emotion. Overthinking. Weakness. Laziness. Excellent. I'm really glad that you people said something when I asked about weakness, because people are really comfortable talking about their strengths, but nobody is even willing to open up when they are asked about weaknesses. Remember one thing: when HR asks about your strength or weakness, they don't expect you to be perfect. Nobody can be perfect. HR also knows that. Okay, and they just want to know if you actually know yourself and whether you believe you can self improve. So when you say about your strengths, that's great. You can just say that I'm good at ABC. People said I'm good under pressure. I'm good in team building activities, whatever it is in a group project. I made this contribution. I led this team. All those things are great. When you say about weakness, yes, you will have to be honest a bit. Again, this requires beforehand preparation. You need to say something that is genuine, and at the same time you need to say how you have improved on that after understanding or being aware of your weakness, or how you have planned an action for self improvement. Right, so that is something which is really really important. uh, Maybe one example is, you all would have done project in your college. You can say that I miscalculated the time that would be taken for completing the project work, but that helped me to understand time management technique. Now I have started putting timetable in terms of breaking down of tasks and how to complete each one of them. That has started to help me for better time management, which I think will help me in the future as well. Something like that, right? So you need to come up with your weakness, which is genuine, which you have actually, and how you think about it for self improvement with some action that you have already taken or that you will be taking in the future, right? Overthinking, procrastination, emotion, skills, fear of missing out. Good, good. I'm glad I'm getting a lot of responses. Good. uh, I'll just call out one thing. Person has mentioned a weakness, and that person also has mentioned that I have now come out with that. You need to say how as well. What made you? What actions you took that helped you to come out of it? That's the essence. Weakness, awareness, action. That's pretty much how it should be. Okay, great. Next question is again, you'll see in most interviews, why should we hire you, right? So you are all great. Everybody is great. Everybody thinks, we all think we are great. Okay, so let us hear from you in terms of why you think you need to be hired in any organization. I'll take a sip of water. Yes, you have gone quiet. Is it because I went off the video? Fast learner. Okay, it's a good start. Excellent. Any other reason, anyone? Yes, all your strengths. You said a lot of people came out with strengths. All those strengths are a reason for people to hire you. You also came out with a lot of weaknesses, and you all should have an action on how to address those weaknesses. A person who is aware of the weakness and how to improve that weakness, that is a very reason why somebody has to hire you. Great. Now I am seeing some responses. Probably I should not go off the video. Good. Right. You guys rock. You guys rock. Ranjana, that's really great. I did so and so projects, interns related to your job role. I can implement my knowledge if you hire me. Great. That are matched with the job description. And great. Excellent, excellent responses I'm seeing now. This is exactly how you should frame. If you are able to, again, look at some of the skills that are expected, if you have done some research, which you should be doing before any job interview, you need to see, you should probably connect with some of your seniors or somebody in the organization to understand what they are doing, what skills will be taught for freshers, and how you will have to improve. That needs to be researched upon. And when you say that my skills are matched with your job description, for freshers, I seldom have seen any job description. But yes, that's exactly how you should approach it. You need to understand probably skill A, skill B, what is required in the organization or what is being used in the organization. You can say I am working on skill A, skill B, or I am skilled in skill A, skill B, which I think is what you are looking for, and I'll be a big value to your company. Yeah, that's great. I am seeing so many good responses. Excellent. Only thing which you should not be saying is, I need a job. You are looking for a person, so please hire me. Don't do that. That's not what HR is looking for. HR wants to know what value you think you will bring to the table. So you need to, again, think properly, prepare beforehand, and get into the interview. Right. The next one. Excellent, Pravina. I see the response to the previous question. Great. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Any thoughts? What this question means and how you will respond to it? Okay, I will say what this question means, what HR wants while you type. something on the chat window in terms of where do you see yourself in 5 years. HR does not want to understand whether you have completely planned your career roadmap for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, etc. They want to know whether you are someone who is able to see some kind of growth plan and work accordingly. You cannot say that I'll be coding the same thing that I am doing today in 5 years. Probably you can do that, but the depth of your expertise would have increased, and accordingly you'll have to change what you say. Anything that you can think of, anything at all, just type in the chat. If not, no issues. I'll wait for 30 seconds anyway. Abroad, leading software developer who works on projects that help the society to solve the real world problems, even founding my own startup. Leadership roles in 5 years. Okay. Anyone else has anything? Job with high position. Okay. Uh, I see minimal response for this question, which is understandable. Absolutely no issues. I did not expect many people to respond to this as much as you did for tell me about yourself, strength or weakness. Absolutely fine. See, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Somebody had typed in perfect. That's a very good answer. Saying in 5 years, I probably will be leading a small team in your organization, probably working for some real time challenges that people face in the world, try to change the world. Absolutely fine. Exactly how you should plan. Maybe you can just think of what the organization is doing and align your response to that as well. That's the only suggestion I would give. Just do not say something like, I'll be in US, I'll be in Canada, uh, settled, well settled, probably doing some real estate. Those kind of things, HR will put a tick mark, but that's not what they are looking for. They are looking for someone who plans their career properly in terms of student, trainee, consultant, engineer, senior engineer, team lead, and so on. Succeed in my life. Generic responses are good, guys, but specific responses are absolutely appreciated by HR. So you probably will have to do some homework beforehand. Make your convert your generic response to specific responses. Success in life is absolutely what everybody is looking for. What you define as success and how you approach your career to achieve that success is exactly what you'll have to say in 45 to 60 seconds for this question. Right. So we all have faced challenges in life. There will definitely be a question asked about that in terms of the most difficult challenge that you have faced in your life. Let me hear from you in terms of what you think of this question or what response you have for this question. Exams, everybody fears exams, everybody sees that as a challenge. Absolutely true. Anything else? I want at least five people to respond with some challenge. Exams, neighbors, getting betrayed by the closed ones, in search of college, sports. Okay. Okay, we actually are at 7:40. I need to rush up. I should not be spending too many minutes for a single question. See, when HR says, "Tell me about a challenge you face," that's a very good opportunity for you. Okay, you can come up with a very critical challenge. Obviously, we all have faced challenges. You all have finished or about to finish your college life. You definitely would have faced some challenge or the other, and you would have addressed it very well. Even if you had not addressed it very well, you would have learned from that challenge. So you need to prepare for this one, and you need to use the star technique, which we will be seeing later. When I say star technique, it's something which we'll go with some examples in that slide. You need to describe the situation. You need to say what needs to be done, what action you took, and what were the results, or what are the results expected. That's how you need to approach this question. When we come to the star technique, I will come back to the responses that I see in the chat window for this challenge question, and probably will try to hear from you in terms of how you will respond if time permits. Otherwise, I will let you do it at your own pace, but please do try it once we cover the star technique. Again, before I go to the next slide, just let me know if you find this engaging and interesting, either in the chat window or with a thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. That really helps. Okay, let me see if. Okay, for star technique, I will just play this video. It's a 1 minute video. It will not take much time, but it will crisply cover what star technique is. It does not have any voice, so you don't have to worry about the audio for this. Okay, I'll stop. Don't have to get into marketing. Okay, let me share the screen again. Oops. Screen share. Guys, are you still seeing the screen that is shared? Uh, I'm just not able to see the screen myself. Yes, okay. Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. See, star technique, you would have seen in the video. I actually planned for some 10 minutes on this slide, but we are already 45 minutes into the session. See, you don't have to memorize answers for every question. Just have to think and arrive at an answer in a structured manner. You would have seen this in the video. It was very clear in that one. It's in the YouTube as well. You can see it anytime. You set the entire scenario. The situation has to be explained. The stage has to be set. The task has to be mentioned. Then you need to mention what action you took to address the challenge or the situation, and what result you obtained. It could be something from your project. It could be something that was as part of your examination preparation. It could be something that you did as part of a paper presentation. Either way, this is something which you will have to follow, so that you don't just go and give some theoretical and direct answers. People can relate to stories more. People can relate to this structured response more than a direct response which does not have anything in terms of the actions taken or the results achieved, right? So even when you say results achieved, should not just say that I passed the exam. You probably can say what percentage you aimed for, and what you actually achieved, and how the actions that you took helped towards achieving that. So that is something which is very important. We will go to the tricky questions part. But guys, as I said, star is very important. Even the challenges that you mentioned and the people who did not mention anything, promise me that you will go back and try to respond to that question using star technique on whatever you typed as challenge. Say yes if you will do it over the weekend or Monday. I'll wait for at least some 5 responses. Yes, no, whatever it is. Great, great, great. Thanks, thanks. Thank you, everyone. That's really good. Okay, so tricky questions. We already covered one tricky question, that is in terms of your weakness. Again, I told you a recipe for that as well. The weakness has to be mentioned, it has to be honest, it has to be relatable, it should have happened in your life, and you should have had an action plan to either address it in the future or to have addressed it in the past, partially or completely. So that is the formula that you will have to prepare, go with for the tricky questions that will be asked by HR as well, right? So let's see some of the tricky questions here. You probably are from different departments as part of your college. You probably are part of BE, BSc, BCom. I do not know the entire audience for this session, but there could be a question in terms of why you actually chose the field or stream that you are a part of. I'll just wait for 1 minute or 30 seconds to see what you guys are typing. Why did you choose where you are studying or which degree you are studying? I'm interested in what to explore. Okay. Any other response, guys? Anything else that you can think of? This field has more scope as well. This field has high package. Good. That shows that you have done some research in terms of your field, both in terms of the interests as well as the compensation. Great. Passionate, ideate, innovate, interested. Interested, why is the question? Guys, any answer is good. Honesty is best here. Uh, just mean as long as you have really shown interest and taken whatever you have taken, that's really great. Just don't say my cousin took BE, so I also studied BE. My sister took BSc, so I am into BSc. So don't go with those kind of responses. Just say something which will show you as a person who has some vision, who has some planning, who goes and does something which you are interested in. Okay, just go. Don't only answer that is bad is to say that you did it because somebody else did it or somebody forced you to do it. Just don't say that. Anything else, good, but prepare beforehand. I'm interested to study petroleum engineers because I like to work offshore. Okay, good. We'll go to the next one. This is something which you will hear from every single HR interview that you attend. Why do you want to join our company? Again, honesty is really
Wow.
important. And as I said, research is equally important. When you go for an interview, make sure that you know what the company does and say something related to that particular field or domain. Just don't say that I want to join your company because you offer the highest package. That is not something which will go well. Just say that I know that you are innovating. I saw some messages about innovation, ideation, and all. You can mention something like that. You can say that I'm interested in, if you are saying networking, I'm interested in Wi-Fi, I'm interested in router. So I am picking up your organization as my favorite one. If you are interested in electronics, if you're getting into Siemens or any other company, you can say that I am interested in electronics. I come from a background where I have done electronics project. So I am want to get into your organization. Just go with some response which resonates with them, which is related to their domain. Just don't go with something which is very generic about the location or the compensation
or just don't say that I'll go to any office where I can get some AC for 8 hours. Don't Those kind of answers are bad answers. Other than that, any honest response that will resonate with whatever they are doing, their domain, their expertise, is good. Review the recent achievements. Yeah, that's really good, because it's my dream company. You will have to have a reason for why it's your dream company. I had research good placement records in our company, interested in the developing field. Any other response other than what I just mentioned is good. You just have to prepare beforehand in terms of how you frame that particular response to resonate with the organization, and that has to be different for different organizations. You probably will be attending an IT organization, software industry today. Tomorrow you probably are going to attend a hardware industry interview. Make sure that you prepare your response accordingly, so that it is not the same and it is not resonating with other people. This may not be applicable for everyone, but if at all your grades are low, there is every possibility that you will be asked about that in your interview, on why your grades are low. If you have a genuine reason for that, you can definitely say that, and you can say how you overcame that, if at all you have overcome that as well. That is also something which is good. And basically the HR wants to know if you're taking accountability for the low grades. You cannot just say that I had said something about the teacher which the teacher did not like, the professor did not like, and they gave me a low grade. Just don't say that one. But you need to say that yes, I do know, I am aware, I acknowledge that my grades are low, and this is because ABC as a reason. I tried XYZ, and if you have improved, it improved from X to Y percentage. If not, I have tried XYZ as action plan, and I expect this to grow further in the subsequent semesters. Just say something like that. You need to take accountability for you, what you have done, what you have achieved, and you need to have an action plan to make it better. Yeah, so this is related, still different from the earlier question. The earlier question was just about a challenge. So that challenge is something where you could have overcome the challenge successfully. This question is a tricky one, because it is going to ask you about a time where you failed, not in your exam, any event, any instance in the life, anything that might have happened where it did not go as per your plan. So that is something which will definitely be asked, and it is definitely a tricky question. I'm not just making the concept and not in the April and deep and learn why these concepts are used in real world. Yeah, that's a good answer as well. You can say that I don't focus on theoretical marks, but still I know the concepts and I know how to apply in the real world. That's the way you can phrase the same response. But yes, that's a very good response, Ranjana. Let's get to the next question. Tell me about a time you failed. So that is again another question where people, HR people, would want you to take accountability in terms of what happened in your life, and they would want to know what you learned out of it. It's not like I failed and I forgot. You need to have something that happened. Again, use the same star. You can say this was the situation, this was the task expected, these were the actions I took. Unfortunately, the responses were not positive, the responses were negative. Because of that, I have learned A, B, C, and if it happens again in my life, I'll be able to overcome that successfully. In confidence, become overconfidence. In friend circle, learn more lesson from it. Guys, good answers. Uh, just develop that. Star technique, action plan. Excellent. As I said, I'm really glad that I'm getting a response for every single question that I'm putting here. It shows that you guys have prepared something, have tried to work out. You guys all have the confidence to respond to HR questions, however tricky it is. It just requires a bit of preparation, back end work, beforehand work, before you get into the interview room. Whatever responses you are giving, make it more structured, and that will be it. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, one last question that we have in part of in the tricky questions part. Are you planning higher studies? See, you guys are sitting in an interview room. you guys have cleared the technical round. HR is asking you this question. If you clear the interview, you will be working as part of their organization. You could be preparing for higher studies, you could be having some other plans, whatever it is, just don't say that. You need to say, I'm preparing, but still, I'm not going anywhere immediately. That is the reason I'm attending this particular interview. I want to land a job in your organization, and I will continue to learn in the organization and outside. If there is an opportunity for higher studies through your organization, I will definitely welcome it. If not, I will continue to work for your organization and add value. That's how you should frame it. Don't say, yes, I'm going for higher studies. I have written the exam. I have written GRE, I have written GMAT and waiting for the results. That's not the right answer. But it could be the actual truth as well. You don't have to say that. You don't have to be 100% honest all the time in an interview. That will land you in trouble. That's it. So we are almost towards the end of the session. All I will say is you be yourself. You don't have to be a fake version of yourself. You just make sure that you use star technique wherever possible. Whatever questions you think will come, prepare beforehand and try to frame a structured response. Real stories always help. I told you about Abdul Kalam, I told you about Shah Rukh Khan, I told you about many other instances in the past. Whatever you practice, try to practice aloud. Reading it inside your mind is good, but it's not as helpful as practicing aloud. I see Prabha has raised her hand. Yes, Prabha.
Yes. Um, See, I want you to guide them on three questions that are also tricky. One is like when they are asked about how much do you expect about the package, how they should respond. Then the second thing is, will you sign a bond or agreement?
Hmm.
Okay. And third question is, any stress related questions. So I want to, based on your experience, I want you to guide them on these three questions in a very short way.
Okay, in terms of package, I mean, for a fresher, I don't think that question will be as difficult as for experienced working professionals. But still, when it comes to package, you don't have to say a figure at all. Okay, if you are confident about the package, if you know from the past or from your friends in terms of what the package is going to be, you still don't have to say that number to HR. You can say, I have done well in my college. These are my theoretical mark. I have cleared the technical round and I have presented myself well in this HR interview. I know I will bring values A, value B, value C, value D to your organization, and I am 100% certain that your organization values these skills that I bring to the fore to the table, and I will be paid accordingly. That is something which you can say as a fresher.
Okay.
Even if you have done the market research, even if you know what the package is going to be, you don't have to mention the number. Second, in terms of bond or agreement, I did not understand the question, Prabha. Is it like, are you willing to sign a bond
are
or
you
will be
willing
the
to
response?
sign an agreement of 2 years or something like that?
Okay, that actually depends in terms of what your aspirations are. I would not suggest you to say no. Okay, so you can say yes conditionally, but you don't have to say it as an unconditional yes as well. Can always say that I am willing to be part of your organization. I understand that I can have growth in your organization in an organic manner from A to B, from an engineer to a team lead in 3 to 5 years time frame. And if you ask me where I see myself in 5 years, that was a question I mentioned, Prabha. I'm not sure whether you were there at that time. So you can say that I see actually myself in your organization leading a small team after 5 years. So that's how committed I am. uh,
Okay.
I do not prefer to sign a bond, but I would want to give a commitment that I'll be in an organization and add value. That is something you can say.
Okay.
But if it is a must, then obviously you'll have to sign. You cannot join the organization without a bond if they have it as part of their hiring onboarding exercise. Sorry, Prabha, what was the third question?
Third question is sometimes they have this stress type of questions, right? They say na. So can you give an example for a stress question and then how to handle that kind of situations for the students?
Okay, so stress questions are numerous examples can be given, and there could be numerous types of stress also. Probably what I can think of right now from a fresher perspective is it could be a situation based question. They can tell you or they can give a scenario to you saying you have worked really hard for your project, and the night before your presentation some of the functionalities are not working. You will get into a lot of stress when you unearth that it is not working, the functionalities are working. How you will respond to that situation, that could be one. That's just an one example, Prabha and everyone, in terms of how you will handle stress. There will not be a direct question saying okay, you are going to be in a stressful situation, how will you handle stress? There could be, but situation is better and situation is more trickier, because you need to think what you will be doing in that situation than giving a theoretical response. When you encounter such a question, even for this particular example, you will have to respond using story based star technique, saying that this was the situation, we worked really hard, we had a presentation the next day. As you mentioned, some of the functionalities were not working, ABC has to work. What we did was, we were five of us as part of the project group, we split the task among ourselves to check or analyze what went wrong that did not produce the functionality. As part of those efforts, we put some 4 hours extra in that particular evening and made sure that those functionalities worked. The result was we were able to present it really well to the professors on the next day. So this was the situation. We handled it really well, and everybody appreciated us in terms of how we worked during that stress period. You can mention that, it will definitely get a good appreciation.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
No worries. We are at the end of 1 hour. I know probably we'll have a lot of questions. Prabha has my details in terms of my contact. You can reach out to her or you can reach out to me if you have any questions on any. Is there any question that you have? Any question you can ask for the HR? Yeah, I will take that question. I mean, the video that I showed, I just wanted to mention. I mentioned earlier when I started my introduction saying that I also help people with their interviews. So if you look at that channel, there will be a video for this particular question as well, in terms of what to respond when there is a question. Is there a question you have for me? Right? All questions are good. I mean, anything that you ask is good. Only thing that is bad is to say I don't have any questions, because that is a very good opportunity for you to say to HR that you have done a research and you have XYZ as questions and you can put it across. You can have any challenge. You can say, I want to understand how you help people with their work life balance, how you handle any whatever Prabha just mentioned, right? Stress related things, how you help people under stress in your organization. You can ask any question. All those questions are good. Just don't ask any irrelevant questions. Ask something which is relevant. If you have any domain or if you have done proper research on the organization, you can ask something about their domain as well. Otherwise, you can ask some good generic questions like what I mentioned. Just don't say I don't have any questions. That's really bad, because it's an opportunity for you to come up with something. My LinkedIn profile, yes, I will send it across. I do not have it handy right now, but I will send it across in the chat window, or Prabha will share it with you. Prabha, over to you for any closing remarks.
Yes. So, good evening, all. I joined little late. Happy and proud to share that Murali is my classmate, friend. So, whenever I ask him to share his knowledge, he's always ready. But we couldn't make it for GHF due to his availability or other things. So I hope you would have got a very nice inputs from him. Uh, so now it's over to you. Anyone wants to share, one or two can share your feedback so that it really matters to all of us. Anyone who wants to share your feedback, switch on your video and share your feedback. Others who are having some problem with your camera or audio can share in your chat box your feedback. And thank you very much for this attendance also. So now we are conducting only monthly once this placement sessions. Um, so I hope it would have helped you. We will continue this monthly one sessions in the mostly in the second week of every month, Saturdays. So please try to attend so that you get ready for your placement processes and get placed. Anyone who wants to share the feedback, please.
A couple of them have typed in their response on the chat. I would have expected them to come on video and share their
Yeah,
feedback.
somebody, if
That's
you
fine.
share in the video now, it really cheers up the speaker actually.
Oh yeah, of course. Always good to know that we are making a difference, right? So
Yes, yes. But I could see a lot of responses today, Murali.
it
Generally, they
was
are very
really
silent.
surprising. Huh? Everybody responded to every question that
Yes,
I
yes.
had. I'm really glad. It's a very good participation that we had today. Okay,
Muthu, why don't you or somebody,
you
anyone
can put somebody on the
say?
spot. That's fine. People are camera shy as well.
Anyone who can switch on your camera, Nandini? Anyone? Please give a feedback so that it is very much helpful for us and it makes us happy instantly.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Nandini.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. First of all, நான் வந்து இன்ஜினியரிங் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் தான். பிஇ கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ் இன்ஜினியரிங் தேர்ட் இயர். ஆஸ் அ
Okay.
ஃப்ரெஷரா நெக்ஸ்ட் இயர் வந்து நான் என்னென்ன எனக்குள்ள ஒரு தாட் இருந்தது, என்னென்ன கொஸ்டின் எனக்கு இருக்குமோ அந்த எல்லா கொஸ்டினுக்குமே ஒரு கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் நான் செட் பண்ணாமலே நீங்க எனக்கு ஆன்சர் கொடுத்த மாதிரி இருந்தது. அவ்வளவு கிளியரா பெர்ஃபெக்ட்டா அவங்க என்ன எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க, நாங்க எங்களோட பெஸ்ட் எப்படி கொடுக்கணும், எல்லாமே டோட்டலா பெர்ஃபெக்ட். எந்த இடத்துலயுமே ஒரு டவுட்டே இப்ப இல்ல. இப்போ இன்னைக்கு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாலுமே எப்படி அதை ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணி எங்க எடுத்துட்டு போய் முடிக்கணும்ன்ற அளவுக்கு அவ்வளவு பெர்ஃபெக்ஷனோட எங்களுக்கு,
Very good.
அதாவது அந்த ஃபீல்ட்ல இருக்கவங்களோட எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்ன்றது இப்போ உங்ககிட்ட இருந்து நாங்க கத்துக்கிட்டோம். தேங்க்யூ.
Thank you. Thank you. Any point of
Any
time,
அண்ட் தென்
ஏதாவது question
தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் த
இருந்ததுன்னா you can
வேல்யூபிள்
say.
டைம் ஆல்சோ.
No problem. Anytime.
anybody else? See, this is a real difference that we make. So please, if anybody else can share like this, what you got from the session. We can go for one more. Anyone from other fields, because this is a common session, HR session. So yeah, from other fields, medico or arts and science background, how you found it useful? Anyone else? Mic வேலை பண்ணலையா முத்துக்கு? Okay. No problem. Somebody else? Nandini?
Okay.
மேம்.
Anyone? Yes, Nandini. நீங்க இப்பதான் பேசுனீங்கல்ல? So
Yeah.
somebody else.
எஸ் மேம்.
Thank you, Nandini. Lithin, why don't you?
I think people are a bit shy to come on video or speak up, Prabha. They have
Yes,
all
yes,
put their
yes.
feedback on the chat. So that itself is really good.
Vishwanathan, வேற யாராவது பேசலாமே? Anyone who can switch on the video and speak.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Vishwanathan.
நான் இப்பதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர் படிக்கிறேன். இந்த வருஷம் தான்.
எந்த காலேஜ்?
இப்போ இந்த டைம்ல இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு மீட்டிங் அட்டன் பண்ணது ரொம்ப. நான் லோயலா காலேஜ்.
Loyola?
ஓகே.
Good.
இப்போ இந்த டைம்ல இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு மீட்டிங் அட்டன் பண்ணது ரொம்பவே யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தது. நிறைய கத்துக்கிட்டேன். நிறைய மேபி இன்னும் எனக்கு ஃபியூச்சர்ல நிறைய யூஸ் ஆகுற மாதிரி இருந்தது. தேங்க்யூ.
Good.
எஸ், வெரி குட். மனோஜ், நீங்க பேசணுமா? ஆர் உனக்கும்
அவராலையும்
ப்ராப்ளம்
பேச முடியலன்னு சொல்றாரு.
சரி, ஓகே ஓகே, நோ ப்ராப்ளம். ஆக்சுவலி தே யூஸ் டு கலெக்ட் feedback internally, Murali. I'll definitely share that with you.
Sure, Prabha.
So thank you so much for your time. How did you feel interacting with these
Yeah, it was
students?
really good. I mean, as I said, right, I thought probably people will not be able to open up for the questions that I put across, but right from the beginning, when I asked them to describe themselves in 3 words, till the last tricky questions, I was getting a response. I was getting multiple responses for each of the questions that I put across. So it was really fun, fantastic. And I'm sure these people will be as excited as me for follow-ups.
Yes, thank you so much. And maybe in future, I want you to take one tech round of preparation. Maybe it can be, as they are a mixed crowd, maybe we can have some mixed type of questions, how they should prepare for this technical rounds.
Okay.
Maybe you
I will
can,
not be able to cover every single technology. Nobody will be able to, but I will come up with an approach in terms of how to address the questions that will be asked in technical rounds.
Yes, sure. We'll do that after a few months. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Once again, on behalf of GHF and on my personal self, it was nice listening to you, though I also take interview handling sessions. It is reassuring that we are in the right path on some pointers, and in some pointers I myself found that different perspective, as you are an insider from the IT industry, how the expectations or perspectives from the interviewer is. So it was nice for me also to attend this session. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone. Have a great weekend. Whatever is left with it. Bye.
Yeah, fine.